Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wardogs.
And Calvin.
Oh, Coach Calvin Ned.
Well, it's a big week, Calvin.
Yes.
Going to be up and about.
Huge week.
Arguably the most important
Yes.
podcast you'll listen to this year.
Yes. Lockout week in AFL Fantasy because round one is upon us. We have, 9 games coming up this weekend, which is a nice thing to have. But it all kicks off on Thursday night with the Tigers and the Blues Destroy.
Oh, no. Humdinger.
It will be a humdinger, but that's where we actually get our teams. Well, the first lockout is what we'll have. And when every game starts, players from those teams will be locked. If they're in your team, they stay there, wherever you've placed them in your team. Mm-hmm. And if they are not, well, you might be able to use a trade later on to get them if you really want them.
How's the nerves?
Oh, look, I'm not good at the best of times, Destroy, but all this pre-season work we've done comes down to this.
And so much changed over the weekend off the back of that as well. I guess
I've seen Dog's team. Oh, my goodness.
You can't be too reactionary, boys. Off
Dog,
the back of
you've
this
been
stuff.
the king of that, Destroy. No, well,
Dog's
most of my
breakfast,
team, most of my team was all there, Cal. You're all crying about, now I'm going to have to pick up Tanner Braun. Well, if you read my
hang
team
on.
reveal last week, you would have seen that he was already there. So you didn't have him. Now you've been...
No, that was the only change I needed to
Only
make.
change.
I had everyone
Wait till
else.
we go through this then and
I
we'll
saw
see.
a few upset people.
I was very
online.
upset. And I was one of them, Destroy.
People thought they had a unique.
Yeah,
Go on.
They did.
No unique
Oh,
anymore.
now everyone's going to have Petrarca. Come on, guys. You're better than this.
No, it's a trading game too. That's the big thing. We start with our initial squads and then the, what's the little mouse? The little butter mouse thing?
Oh, yeah.
They'll be the ones that climb out of the bucket because they'll trade their way to fantasy
That was
success.
the worst selling of the Buttermouse story I've ever heard. We'll need you to do it properly one day, Cal.
Yeah, I'll sit down and explain it to you.
But yes, Dog, they do get out.
You fight.
The mouse survives.
And that's what we do. It's all about your trades and what you
fight.
do. So having that, this has been almost a thing over the last few years anyway, is having a more vanilla starting team is the right way to go. You're with everyone else if something fails, which is not a bad thing. But, just starting from there, and then it's all about the trades, because we do have like a heap of trades, like 50-odd trades throughout the year.
Just adding to that, I can tell you what it's like to be on an island where you have gone solo with someone.
Yep.
Over the years,
doesn't go well.
we have been in some bad spots, haven't we?
She's lonely. Yes, we have. And it can be tough getting out of it, so let's avoid those spots.
I like it.
All right, opening round. It happened. So let's go through what we learned, basically, and we'll go game by game. And I don't know, stocks up, stocks down, Roy. You love that.
I do.
So let's, I guess, talk about who we've got and who, we may or may not have off the back of this, which is probably one of the things.
Coming into it, we talked a lot about line scores and things like that and what someone has to do to force your hand even though they've got an upcoming bye. Well, we were making our lines pretty high, to be honest, but the thing is, people were hitting them to the point their break-evens are going to be ridiculously low. And it also, getting your first look at proper footy and what it's going to look like, it was a bit of a reminder that some people are just a class above the rest. You can talk about value here, value there, but there's some guys that, they are them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Errol was one of them.
Yeah. We'll get into the games, but probably some really simple things that we saw. My biggest takeaway would have been the game was fast, or the games were fast.
Yeah.
Probably slowed down a little bit on Sunday night because of all the marks that we saw taken.
Probably. We do often see this in the early rounds.
We do.
Obviously, the rules have changed to make that happen. It was always going to happen early, especially with the combination of it is early and the rules have changed. But you're right, it was lightning at times.
The players are excited.
And that.
Yes.
You're up and about.
Aren't they ever?
We saw some pretty big fantasy scores from some teams, like as in total scores and team scores. So the average was up about 63 points on last year's average. Yes, 5 games versus 200 odd games or whatever it is. But, and the teams playing in opening round are arguably better teams. So they're probably scoring. So we won't read too much into that. And especially when we did see some of the massive scores that were put out there. So like Brisbane racked up a 1,700, Collingwood 1,800 in the end, like as total points when, the average is usually in the low 1,600s.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
big.
sort of where you're seeing. So that's probably one of those things. I saw the other things that I saw. Let me just check my notes. We've got few more kicks from that and a few more handballs. So disposals were up a bit. Meters gained was another thing. So that probably goes to that ping and the quick ball that we saw, I reckon. But let's get into the games and we'll give our takeaways. Stock's up.
Okay.
Stock's down.
We could do trap or treat.
Let's,
I'm just saying.
Well, let's combine
throw
them.
those in.
Okay.
Throw those in.
Right.
Sydney Swans and Carlton. So we saw that game there. The Blues got pounded in that third quarter.
Oh, my
And that
goodness.
was nuts
Wasn't
way
it?
to go. But anyway, we saw from that one there, top scorer was Errol Goulden. 126 was in our teams, and there'd be zero reason to take him out. And I reckon it might make people want to have him.
Well, that's the thing. Early on, because remember, you two had him and I didn't. So
But you've come around the last few weeks, though.
I have. He's definitely been in the main group at training. But so he started. It was a little bit shaky. Couldn't quite put finger on the pulse with his role.
Yep.
His scoring wasn't exactly free flowing, but then flicked the switch and reminded everyone why they need to have him. 11 tackles. Now, he only had 3 marks. That's going to be higher.
Yep.
I just thought he was super impressive.
So he shares the buys with Gold Coast, Bulldogs, and the Hawks.
Yeah.
So we're all happy to take that
It's
on.
not perfect.
It's not
but
great.
It's okay.
Yep.
Yep, so he was great, dog.
All right, in that as well. Who else did we sort of see?
Grundy.
The Ruck Pig.
His second half.
106 he ended up with.
So he had an absolutely thumping second half. He was kind of slow in the first half, like all the Swans were. But then once they got going, he looked amazing. And he's going to, just like last year, have some ridiculous ceiling scores. And from this point on, I wouldn't be surprised if he does average that 110 plus.
Yeah, 71 in the second half. 71.
So that there doesn't force your hand to start him, though, does it?
It doesn't force your hand, but if you have him or had him,
You wouldn't be.
you would stay on that.
You would.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now let's go to some other players that are definitely worth mentioning here. Oh, well, let's go premium still.
Oh,
and we'll
okay.
talk about Sam Walsh.
Yeah.
99, Roy. Is that what
Okay.
it was, 99?
Yeah,
It
so
was.
that was enough to get his break even down pretty low moving forward. To the eye test.
But not ridiculously low.
No, it'd be 80.
Yep.
To the eye test, Sam looked great. It
He
looked like
did.
he'd had a preseason. He was actually copping attention and still racked up 32 possessions.
Yep.
So
Had
if
the most
you-
CBAs for them as well,
Yes.
which is what the role was all about that we wanted him for this
That is
preseason.
correct. So I should, so with Walsh, has he had an uninterrupted preseason? Is he in the midfield? If both of those are yes, then yes, he's a great pick and he'll probably average 110. Yeah. Okay. He didn't force your hand with his early score. He's got 3 way easier opponents
does.
coming up
Yep.
where he'll actually convert it to some points, but hasn't forced your hand. So either way, I would support you getting him,
Yeah.
but I would also support just waiting on it.
Look, to do that with a James Jordan tag
Yes.
and you got beat by, you know,
Yes.
60 or 70 points.
That's impressive in my eyes.
It's a good effort.
Yeah.
All right, rookies are where we look. And so the cash cows, I think we locked 2 in out of this game, essentially. Jagger was always going to be there,
Yes.
and he was outstanding, as we all know. He had 82 points, so 27 disposals for him, 3 marks and 2 tackles. So
It's just an easy
it's
one.
just a lock. M8 is where you should have him. You
Yep.
should have him on field, play with that. The other one there was Jai Sarong. Now, he had 50-odd at the half.
Yes.
Had a donut in the
Yeah.
third quarter.
Yeah.
Winger, but that was, this is a thing. Like, it's a tricky one because that's when Sydney turned it on
Yes.
in that third. But I think the fact that he ended up with a 72
Yeah.
is definitely enough. Well, it's more than enough that
yeah.
you need to have him. And it probably started some of that conversation about how many of these
Spot on.
rookie defenders do we actually have this year and what can structure look like, which we might talk to a little bit more later.
So, like you said, he was better when they were getting smacked because he was sort of playing defensive
Yep.
wing. And then when a Swan's going to be good, yes. So is that a worry for him? Nah. He's right.
Liam Reedy didn't really do enough for those people that were looking at that. So 40 points.
No.
That's a no. Move
Well,
on from
he'd be
that.
your stocks down or a trap cow.
He's a trap.
He's a
yeah,
trap, all
he's
right.
what we call a trap.
All right, let's move on to the next game, and that was the Suns and the Cats. And the Suns, well, like we saw the night before, the Suns smashed the Cats there. Petrarca, he's probably where we just have to start, I suppose. He ended up with a 121-point game, 34 disposals, and had 5 marks, 2 tackles, and kicked 3 snags in it. It was just an all-round epic performance.
He filled the lines, didn't he?
He was amazing.
He was.
And was it any surprise? No, but the level he went to, that was nuts.
So that's plus 30 on what his price stat was. We just have to
Holy
do it.
moly.
Like
Yeah.
if you
I mean, we
were
were
on the
doing
fence
it
with
anyway,
that
but
one.
Man, oh man,
Dog
you
wasn't
got to
doing
be
it.
on that.
Dog wasn't.
Oh, he
saw
wasn't
my
either.
team
I forgot
review. You
about
saw my
that.
team review last week, Cal.
I don't
He was
read
in
your
there.
stuff, mate.
But
Come
yes,
on.
that's an easy one.
Yes.
Petrarca in.
Petrarca in. All right. Who else have we got then out of this game that we have in?
Well, it's interesting because all preseason, because of their draw that's coming up, super easy.
Yeah.
So people that want to take a punt on like an Anderson, like he was tagged hard and still got to 100,
He kicked 1 goal 4.
and it's
It
about
could
to.
have been a lot worse.
That'll open up over the next couple of weeks.
Big
for him.
time it will.
So I mean, if that was what you were interested in, that's still in play for
Yep.
you.
Yeah, premium-wise there, Grime Myers had a 121. I still don't know if I'd want to go there. I know you're the biggest fan there. Destroyed. He had 10 marks.
But that's ceiling areas for
Yeah.
Myers. Like that's next level. He might have unlocked something there, but we won't start with him. But yeah, keep an eye on it.
Right, mid-priced players is where we'll look now, and Tanner Bruin locked himself in our sides. Now, Cal, you didn't have him. This is an opening round cheat code that you got lucky on, I reckon, because everyone else had him except for you.
Agree. Yes. No, you're spot on, right? This was with a guy that I was happy to go, no, I'm not going to do this. Geelong, I've seen this story before. But yes, I'm happy, Dog, to take this one and go, cheat code has saved me on this one.
Yeah.
So
very
where does
good.
he sit in teams then? I've got him M7.
I have got him there as well.
Yeah, about 7 for me
Yeah,
as well.
I like that. So plenty of time off half back for him.
Yep.
Looked great. Lock.
And I guess the rookies that we were watching, of course, was Leo Lombard, who we've all locked onto the bench in the forward line. However, maybe he plays this week against the Eagles.
Well, that's the thing.
He could.
Because he was good.
He'll go 75 again,
Yep.
surely.
Scored his 75, kicked a couple of snags in that. So, yeah, it was a pretty nice sort of stat line that he had. He had a few marks in there as well and tackles. Like, he just all round for him as well.
Worked hard up the ground too. It was good.
All right. To Zeke or not to Zeke?
Right. Yuland. So he only scored 37. So it's just a no.
I don't think we can do it. It was a 42, actually, but that's right.
Oh, 42.
I'm not doing it. No.
You're not doing it? It's
No.
it's a lot of coin.
It is. I don't mind paying up for rookies.
Yeah.
Still
However,
16 touches, but it was just the other things that weren't
and
there.
I mean that's good, but no, it's a no from me.
Yeah.
I think at this stage we're a little bit blessed with cheaper options.
In the pre-game, they talked about that his time on ground would be between that 60 and 65%, which we're going to see. That's another thing, a takeaway out of this weekend of what we saw with time on ground for some different guys. But, yeah, he only had the 62%, so Dimmer was right. It would be between 60 and
Nailed it.
65.
Now, of the premiums, of the Baslenka variety.
Yeah, he's getting cheap.
So he's got a break even of 176.
So he scored an 80, so
Yeah.
he's coming down.
Down. That stock's down, that is, right?
I didn't love his role or demeanour.
His
to be
demeanour
honest.
was definitely down.
It was.
Demeanour.
Trap. There you go.
All right, let's go on Saturday afternoon. We had the Giants and the Hawks, and the Giants dismantled the Hawks there, which was a pretty big margin. What was it, 27 in the end? So fantasy-wise, we didn't see massive scores. We didn't see a ton in
We
this
didn't
game.
see a ton.
What on earth was going
Adjust
on?
the scale of hardness. Cal.
However,
They are two tough teams, though.
Yeah.
Right?
However, we did see some players sort of do relatively well based on their price.
Yeah.
I'll throw Joe Fonte at you.
Lock and load, boys. No.
I talked about bumping Fonte up your draft.
9
to be
marks.
honest. Yeah, exactly.
Riley Beveridge wrote the thing about who's the player that's going to sort of
Oh,
break
really?
out, and he was the one there
Oh,
with
right.
that, and they,
Yeah.
they
Good
like
eye,
him.
Good eye.
So, 22 touches, 9 marks, pretty decent for a 90, and where he's priced at, I'd be,
Well, he's 500 odd K.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
Break
he did.
even negative 17 now.
His activity, it actually affected Whitfield Nash a little bit.
Yeah, so Whitfield, 87, stocks down.
That
How you were
down,
considering
Sam.
starting there as well, weren't you?
I was. I love Lockie.
You especially love what he does against the Hawks.
Yes, I do. 4 times in a row, over 120.
Deary
Didn't happen
me.
today.
It certainly did not.
No.
Cogs was very good, so he's going to get the forward status too, I think. So if you've got him in a draft league,
He was very good.
So the thing
2
with
goals
him,
for him
I
to go
think,
with 22 touches.
I think he was -3 in the last quarter.
Oh, was he?
So
yeah,
he
right.
was actually humming.
Yeah.
And then he just packed up shot. But yeah, that's worth watching.
And then looking at the Hawks, their big guys, 89 was a high score with Sicily.
The dog.
Newcomb, 83. Then we'll start talking some of these players that were definitely on the watch list. Connor McDonald,
Okay.
he ended up with 79. But that's the 4th highest scorer for them.
Yeah. Which is, depends if you want
He
to
had
go
a
glass half full.
He had a third of their CBAs,
Yeah.
which is probably under that 40% that we were sort of looking for.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
Is he in your team?
He
No.
wasn't busy enough. 20 touches.
Yep.
Just
Tough matchup warranted.
yes,
Does have the Bombers
Right.
this week.
Yeah, and it only going to get
should
easier than
bounce
that.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, but 33% CBA's too low.
Right. The other one then, similar. Ralston, 63. Not enough?
No, his time on ground was my biggest concern.
It was a big concern.
Yep.
Like, I just thought he'd be rolling out there for 80%. Wasn't there.
No, it wasn't.
Hit 56% of their CBAs, so the role was probably what
solid.
we
Yeah.
saw and maybe wanted to see a little bit more of.
But 61% time on ground.
That's an issue.
That's a huge issue.
So you
That's
can't
issue,
pick
yeah.
him.
You
have
can't
him.
because we've got rookies that are capable of scoring that.
You need to
if
be on
he's
the
gonna be
ground.
on the pine half
It's
the
number one
time.
rule. Got to be on the ground.
So that CBA mix as well then. So Clary, the most in there. Finn Callahan, so they basically had an even amount in there. Then it was Toby Green who got them over Ralston. Now, Green was hot for some people.
He
Yeah.
was.
You can't be picking him at 77 when he's
No.
priced in the 80s.
No.
He needed to do more than
You had
that.
to do a lot more than that. And that's the thing. I think, well, Roy was a bit of a cheerleader for Toby Green.
I
Looking
always
back
will be.
Hey.
My whole life.
Content's
at
content.
12 years ago when he ran through the midfield, this is what he averaged.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a no. But otherwise, they're probably the key names out of that game. Like,
Speaking-
there's actually,
oh, sorry.
I don't have a Giant or a Hawk in my team.
No.
Yeah, same.
Can I just flag something for
Flag.
like draft this week will be huge.
Yeah.
Dylan Moore's been going high
Oh, yeah.
in draft.
Oh, he's getting cheap.
Now-
He's another one. Stocks down and he'll be
Stocks
cheap soon.
down is right.
Mm-hmm.
That was a worry.
Yep.
He's gone very. I think I have drafted him a couple of times, thinking he was going to be big. That wasn't big.
No.
43, disaster.
All right, Brisbane and the Bulldogs. This was game of the season. That's going to be hard to top, actually, out of
Isn't
that.
it?
That's
How good
impressive.
was that?
That's when I thought, whoa, footy is back.
And there was one man running around
Oh,
with his nose up like a little pig, feeding out of the trough.
People often ask,
Porco.
who is front of the queue for
Wow.
a snouting?
Yeah.
It is that guy.
31 touches, 11 marks, and they were just trying to get it to him any chance they could.
So is Dane Zorko a legitimate starting option Calvinator?
Whoa. Yes, because this is what the pork will do. But no, we're not
I
doing it.
think he's an option.
You could still do it.
It depends on, as long as you don't have, you're going to have to make a choice, and we'll get to some pretty big names in the round 2 bye coming up, but you can't have too many of them. But how can he not be an option? I don't care about his age. Since he started that dry needling, he hasn't missed a game.
6% ownership, break even of 35.
This was a very high-scoring fantasy game in that
was.
too. So, both teams, Bulldogs weren't as much, but you saw some big scores in there. But, yeah, the Lions just racked, and we saw that a lot there. Plenty of marks around for them.
There was. But I'll tell you what, the Zorko role, it had a whole new meaning the other
did.
day.
Yep.
That was next level.
All right, Bulldogs, just to go with some of the big dogs there. Ed Richards, 133, he's just had a big trajectory of what he's done
has.
season to season.
Yes,
Matt Kennedy is still a midfielder.
he is.
115 for him.
Yeah, he
But
was
Tim
solid.
English was the premium that we were watching. And we all had him in our teams. And although that's not necessarily... Well, he hasn't actually outperformed his starting
No.
price. Do we still have him?
He's still there for me.
He was
So-
excellent.
He was. So he was double teamed in terms of throwing fresh legs at him
Yep.
all the time. But it was still, when it got to the fourth quarter, he was still fresher than the pair of them. He was outrunning them. And I think it's just a sign of things to come. He's just going to keep running his opponent into the ground. And I think he'll score more than that on most weeks.
He had a quarter pounder in the last.
Yeah.
Did he
So,
really? Well, that's
you
exactly
go.
what I'm talking about.
Stocks up. Let's talk. Now mid-prices now.
Oh.
Connor Butterick. You have to have him now off the back of that 94, but it's not even just the fact that he scored 94.
No.
It's how he played that game. He took 8 of their kick-ins.
He turned
His role
Yes, he
the
did.
game
was
around.
He's a very good
The,
player.
the game was almost done. And then enter the Buddha. He absolutely dominated. So, yes, he's in our team. Like eye test, score test, roll test, every test.
Yep.
The fact that he has been to our pre-seasons.
Yeah. I'll put my hand up and say he hasn't been in my team recently,
But he's been at training.
now he's not leaving it.
He's
No.
not leaving it, all right. So we've all been wondering which one out of those probably handful of forwards that we can trust a little bit.
Yep.
He's at the top of the queue now.
And we'll pick up his defensive status for round 6 when we head into that one. The other mid-price was Kitty Coleman, who scored 73. Now, that's well over what he's priced at.
It is 20 points.
If he didn't have a bye, that would probably be enough.
Yep.
I don't think I can justify an early bye with that score.
Now, his time on ground at 74% was maybe more than I thought he could have had, especially when he sat so much at the end of the game. That was a big part.
So it's a no for me at the moment, but
Yeah.
if people are backing him in, I wouldn't blame them.
No.
All right, rookie time. Lockie Jacks. Old mate Callis. He was very good. 76. He ended up with 16 disposals, 4 marks, 4 tackles. Just a nice return.
As far as eye test goes, good player.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is he a guy that we can squeeze on our field? We'll
Yeah,
talk
so
about
this is
later.
another one of these defenders that you've sort of got there that could be one of those options.
Good team too.
Yeah.
Like,
He's always just been the guy I just want on my bench, but
yeah,
jeez.
he looked more than capable. And it's just a team where if you've got a role like that, you're going to get your hands on it.
You will.
Selwood,
Well, he did enough
22
too, to be
years
honest.
old, 61 points. Again, that kickstarts cash generation there
Big
at a
time.
basement price.
Yeah. He's a guy I think we need to have.
He looked
Maybe
fine.
this backline structure,
We can actually
Goes
talk
one
to.
deeper,
squeeze another one on.
maybe.
because I think everyone's going to have a defender in their utility as well.
Yes.
That's where we will be. And
Yep.
possibly then even the midfield you could
Well,
even
yes, yeah, you're right.
Drews, Selwood was there, obviously, as a rookie price player. The other one, so Ty Gallup had a 64, and he's in the 200K range. But he was their 17th highest scorer
Well, that's the problem, though.
If you're locked,
and a key forward.
the thing is, if you're locked into their best 23, it's a good place to be if you want points, isn't it? To be honest, like you get it on a silver platter.
Right, what about ZZ Top? Zach Ostaleski. He ended up with 54. He's got defender ruck status, so we could
Just another defender.
slot him there as our R3. Is that... So he did this in minimal time on ground, 44%.
Now, is that a concern or is that a...
Once again,
One of those
is the
ones.
glass half full
Yeah.
or half empty? Because, well, those points per minute, that's like we're talking elite.
So they're going to have some
yeah.
changes out of their team. Harris Andrews, Darcy Gardner, Hugh McCluggage obviously doesn't affect him. But if he does need to play some of that defence, because he's a deaf ruck,
Well, I think his time on ground has to go up, given how many they're going to have missing.
and what do they look like moving forward with the ruck? This is something
Yeah.
that is going to be a question, is that Darcy Fort was their ruck.
Yeah.
How far away is Draper? And then what do they
which
plan
one-
on doing
Well,
with
which
that?
one do they don't dump the two-time
The
premiership
premiership
ruck,
ruck,
do
yeah.
they?
No, you wouldn't think so.
So, yeah, it's tricky. But then again, if he's playing this week, his cash is going
Well,
up. And if he turns into a red dot later on, you can
Well, that's a
drop
blessing.
him down.
Yep. Break even of negative 31.
Yeah,
Cash
like
gen
it's-
has already started.
He's
Like
there
it's-
for me at the moment.
If you are doing the McAndrew R2, which is something else we'll talk to later,
Gosh.
then he's kind of the guy that you do.
I think so.
Now, Hugh McCluggage, right, coming
Yep.
down in break
Here
even
we-
of nearly 240.
Dogs down.
Nearly 240 for him.
Yep.
So he's someone that will be
Cheap.
watching
Yes.
closely. To
Keep
bottom
an
out.
eye on. Keep an eye
All right, and the last game of the round last night was a bit of a humdinger too, we would have to say. We saw some points scored in this game. So let's look at points to begin with. The Pies racked up 18-16. Big.
Green matchup.
That's a couple of hundred
Yes,
more than
that's a
the
lot.
average
Yep.
type thing. They did that with a lot of marks. Now, old mate DJ, geez, he's been good with a lot of his work
Best
that
on.
he's done.
Best on this preseason.
He has been good. So he said this if you haven't checked it out, go and check out the opening round wrap that he's got there. If you go to afl.com.au/fantasy, you'll find that one. But the Pies took 147 marks, which is 23 more than any other game since Craig McRae took charge in 2022. That was his 100th game last night, McRae in charge there. It's the 17th time they've taken at least 100 marks. So only 17% of the time do they even take 100 marks. They've gone 147.
It's huge.
Oh, it's a joke. So I had a look here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players, double figure marks.
Huge.
Come on now.
Well, let's talk about who those players were then. So, big marking games. The highest scorer for the game there was Josh Dacos. He took 13, 141 points. Then we had Maynard. He had 119 points. He took 13 as well. There were some others and, defenders there that we'll talk about. But Houston had 11, and he's a talking point with 120. Even Quaynor had 11 marks and scored 95.
Frampton.
Frampton
13.
had 13.
Okay, so it's an anomaly,
Well, it is. It has to be.
that game. But
But, all right, who are we going to talk to first?
All right.
Let's talk to Houston. This is
We have
this
a
is
problem.
the talking point. What is the problem?
Well, the problem is I've seen him in your team, dog.
the problem is
What is wrong with that?
because it's
It's
so
Houston.
inflated.
Well,
the
it
more
is.
I look at it, it is so inflated.
How inflated, though? This is
I'll
going to be
tell
my
you.
question.
I'll tell you how inflated. Frampton had 13 marks. That's Billy. That's big bad.
Well, Billy's
bad
not going to
bet.
have as many, and then at least Houston will have what he misses out on.
Look, I know what you were looking at. At halftime when he had 80,
81.
I'm like, okay, old school is back. But
Yep.
then, it's not like it wasn't easy going in the second half for Marks. And he still, in the second half, he was back to 39 points. Took about 3 marks in the second half. I know there's a lot of commentary around them wanting to give him the ball. And
Well,
that,
this is
but
the next thing.
They got bored of him after halftime.
They did.
This is the next thing.
Go for it.
Craig McRae
What?
talking about him.
What did he say?
So, and then Houston as well in the post-game interview that he had. Basically, they want the ball in his hand. They worked it out that they need to do this.
They worked it out.
Well, they did by getting old Goldsack in, Tyson Goldsack, who was there at Port Adelaide when he was probably getting his 3 lots of 90-plus averages.
They worked it out.
It just is. It's a bad taste in your mouth, right? Because when this fails, and it will, dog, this will fail. This is the definition of a trap.
When the game was on the line in the second half,
Tell me-
why
tell
did
me
they
his-
go away from
Tell
it?
me his break-even, Cal.
I have to get it up, dog. Jesus,
Oh, I thought you had them all there on
no,
tap.
no. So Houston. Yeah. So where's he priced at? 67. Negative 21. In he comes. Negative
So,
21.
yes, he's
Got it.
priced at 67.
Look, there's
No, so I didn't say
positives.
67 there,
Look,
Cal.
there's positives.
You're not doing it, dog.
I think Dan's best game for a while, McRae said. I think internally we love when the ball is in his hands and he's playing like that.
What are they supposed to say?
12 months it's taken him just to work it out. He had his, and this is probably one of the flags that I had on him anyway, he had hip surgery in the off-season. But
No, he
you
was
can't
move-
play
he
like
was
that. And he
moving
was
well.
good last week as well in the Amy game. So
Okay.
don't forget that as well.
Look, the jury's out. It remains to be seen. I saw you chase a break even this time last year.
Yes.
The community were laughing at you. for
Who
weeks.
has more ability to score out of Sam Taylor and Dan
Oh.
Houston? So don't even compare it. Don't even.
Jury's still out, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
It's
This'll be-
hard. It is last year one of those anomalies that you'd like to talk about
Should be.
because that was actually ridiculous. Like I had to write about him a lot, or I had Collingwood this preseason, and there wasn't anything I could actually pull out apart from go, oh, he did 90s the 3 years
Well,
before he
did.
went to...
Yeah, no, it's a very relevant point. And I think he's one to watch for sure. I'm very uncomfortable with how many points were in their back line. That was a
Agreed.
joke.
More quotes. This is from McRae.
You're trying to talk yourself into it.
We felt like part of our progression of our team had to be certain phases of our offense and defense. And Tyson Goldsack has come in and he's running our offense. And you see tonight you defend on the scoreboard with the ball in hand. Talked about how Brisbane do it and they're just copycat.
Okay, all right. So it's all very valid. All right. So they've changed their game plan. So a little bit of that is in their favour, right? They played the easiest team you could possibly play in terms of that paying off, that game style paying off. So should we be talking about Braden Maynard then? 119.
Well, there you go.
No.
Hell no.
Look,
He's
Houston...
not priced at 67, is he?
I reckon he would
He'd be
be.
pretty close. Now, Houston did have 6 kick-ins, which was half. Like, that's 3 points.
Actually, Maynard is priced at 66.
I thought
There
he'd
you
be
go.
down there somewhere. So that's my problem with this inflation of it. Although they all might get a pretty big boost. Look, they had about 8 players.
So
or
no
hundreds.
how was
One,
there
two,
as well. Who else was missing? Moore. I know they're not similar type players, but ball gets in their hand.
So they had 7
How
players.
especially?
A ton. Pendlebury did it in half a game. Like,
Yeah, wow.
come on now.
It was ridiculous scoring.
So let's just get to Nick Dacos.
Okay, let's
That's
go to the big
real
dogs
one
then.
we
Nick
need to talk
Dacos.
about.
Is Nick Dacos in your sides off the back of his 146, where he's had a 136, off the back of his 41 disposals,
Yes.
7 marks, 2 tackles, and just
Who am I to say that's
3
not
vote
enough?
game.
Like, who am I to say that's not enough?
I know.
I can't.
We all need him at some point.
And it's just getting harder if he's going to be doing that.
Break even 62.
So he's just been a flat no for us because of
know.
the bye.
Yeah.
But every man has his price and opening round score.
Well, what was his line, do you reckon? Seriously, at 125, we would have been thinking about it.
Yep.
130,
So he's priced at 108.
rude not to. 136. What? So he's put 30 on it.
If he has another big score this week, when and how are you getting him in your team?
It is a long way off.
Yep.
Especially if you're going to do it in a traditional way. If you have a dummy spit and straight swap a premium that you think isn't performing, that would be your only way for probably a month and a half, 2 months.
So he's got Adelaide Saturday night at the MCG, but then straight into his bye.
Yeah, that hurts.
Which hurts.
It's a really quick. You'd like to see him twice.
A couple of
wouldn't you?
goes.
But then you've just got him,
But then you've got him in round 4.
don't you?
Or
But then he
round-
goes-
no, 3.
round
Sorry,
3.
Can work
Yeah.
out the...
And then you've got
GWS
him.
and he travels to the Gabba. So
So, like, it's a disgusting start.
not a great draw.
But he's hungry.
Oh, he's hungry.
Tags?
Right? Well, he copped attention on...
He did.
Yeah, so the tags, though, Adelaide maybe might use like a Peatling or someone like that. GWS, obviously Bedford being out. So it looks pretty clear for tags.
Oh, yes, and I just think he's more equipped now than ever, obviously,
See,
to
last
deal
year,
with it.
last year he was done by Freo, Geelong, Sydney will have a go on him as well. He doesn't play those guys till later on. So does tick a couple of boxes there, Destroy.
He does.
Darcy Cameron, good ruck.
Yep.
Great run.
So
Yep.
we talked about him coping well with the changes,
112 he scored.
and he looked great, didn't he?
Yep.
Yep. If
Is
you
he an
liked
option?
him, he is. He is. Because realistically, we're all going with one of English, Grundy, or Cameron.
Yep.
If you wanted a more unique one, he is fine.
Or LJ, if you go on that unders.
Well, yes, definitely.
Who doesn't have the buy. Right, Saints, Sinclair, 122. 35 disposals for him. 6 marks, 3 tackles. He was just obviously very good, had all the well, not all the kick-ins, but a lot of them, 8 of them.
Yeah.
So his role is...
Yep. So he's back to, we talked about it last week, he's back to Batman, no longer Robin back there.
Yep.
And that is a huge tick for me.
Well, who is his Robin? Windhager.
Windy. And
So he had 116, 29 touches, 11 marks for him.
even old Christmas Carol wants a bit of Robin action.
He does.
But, yep,
That role of Windhagers.
it's good. So Windy, he's getting disrespected here. He's priced at about 82. He's got that much meat on the bone in that role.
Yeah.
It's not funny. They could have used him to tag. They didn't. I think it's a sign that it's, if you wanted to go there, you could go there. But Sinclair, just back to him.
Yep.
I've done it. That's forced my hand.
Okay.
Have you got him in?
Yeah, I can't say no to that.
He was so good in the Pracky game as well.
Yeah, Houston only scored 2 fewer points than him, and
Yeah.
he's a lot cheaper.
Isn't that ridiculous? Yeah, you're right. But no.
Go on, get him.
No, definitely
All right, the other premium worth talking about here, well, there might be a couple of others, but Nasiah Cal, you've been kissed here because he's no longer in your team, I see. Scored 73. He copped some attention.
High ownership he had too.
About time he's copped some attention.
Isn't
And this
it?
is
He's
what
so
Roy
good.
worried about last year.
It is because have a look at it.
Yep.
Seriously, like that was a full commitment to shut him.
Yep.
And obviously did. It might have them thinking twice about the luxury of sitting him forward like he's just untouchable.
Yeah,
Yep.
so what does that mean? Like, this is what that was the role that we thought was happening and why you and I, Roy, weren't
Yes.
on him and Cal was.
It wasn't.
Like the joke is they're going to have to, unless he can work out a way to break this real quick, he's going to have to play behind the ball again because he generates so much for him back there.
But on that, stock's down.
Oh.
73, he's getting cheap, and
Huge
we'll be
stock's down.
looking at him at some point, I'm sure.
21 in the second half.
That's nasty.
You can't pay up for that.
No, you cannot.
All right. Then the other big dogs, I guess, Tom de Koning, 84 in the ruck. And then we saw Rowan Marshall, 28 points. But he was concussed. But
Yeah.
that was later in the game.
Yeah.
Like, that was a pretty average score anyway. So he's getting cheap. Hopefully he still plays and stuff going forward because he will get forward status as well.
The writing was on the wall. That's why he wanted out.
Yeah.
He knew what was coming.
Nuts.
His role, he was such a waste for his talent in that role.
Big time.
Value picks are Flanders, 100, although in the first half
What
of that
was
first
he
quarter,
doing?
didn't touch the pill.
If anyone was sitting on their phone while that game was on,
I'd love to know actually how many people might have traded him
Yeah.
out in that first quarter.
let's just have a look at the team without him. Yeah, I reckon.
Anyway,
Good though.
he came good, very good. 28 disposals. The good thing about him, the way he plays, is behind the ball a bit. And yeah, so that's going to be a massive win for us in our forward lines. Must have, as we've talked about all preseason anyway. Christmas Carroll, Cow, as you've said, Jack Carroll as that
boy.
as that midfielder. Playing in defence, I think in that 300k range of price, you just have to do it. Rookie price player, if you check out those rookie
I was going
rankings.
to say, where did he rank, dog?
Where did he rank? Well, he's actually second behind Jagger for me.
Yeah, good call.
wow.
That's
At
fieldable.
332k.
Very
is fieldable.
Yeah, which is interesting because most of us don't have 2 rookies on field. But
No, he's forced my hand there.
really?
Yeah,
Are you just saying these things like while we're...
probably. I can't actually see my team.
All right, the one we do need to talk about
Right.
is the poo.
You're right.
Oh, yes.
Because I got some stinky vibes, Roy.
It
What
wasn't
is
good.
going on with him?
66.
Right, and he got some CBAs,
Yes.
but he's playing dodgeball in there.
Only have about 40% of them or so.
Yep.
Look, I think he'll be better than that. Like, it just wasn't his night, but it's a game where there was a lot of points and ball to go around. And like you said, he dodged it. So
One
if
mark.
you think about, he's cheap, right?
Yep.
But it's not cheap compared to, I know they're different positions, but it's not cheap compared to someone like Carroll.
Yep.
Is it? Who would you be more comfortable fielding at the moment? The cheaper one, a little bit of a restructure there. And Pooh, he's no walk up into the team anymore,
No, he's
especially with
not.
that bye on the back of that score.
Yeah. He can go, I think.
Oh, it's massive. He's been there from
I know.
day dot.
Yep. That's that way we go, Roy. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
true.
brutal. One of the mentions, and probably out of the whole weekend as well, but did you see Pendles? He rode the pine a
Yeah.
lot. Almost 21 minutes he had at the start of the game on there, but then had some big quarters, like 12 minutes, a couple of 12-minute quarters where he was on the bench in one stint type thing. Similar to that, old mate McRae, he had 11 minutes in that last quarter.
It
And
was,
the,
it
and the
was
Swans,
interesting.
Swans did that with Papley as well.
Yeah,
Sort
yeah.
of held him off.
That sort of pseudo-sub, Sheldrick was a shocker in that last quarter. He had 12 minutes
Yep.
riding there.
So that's how they're looking to use it at the moment. So did
Thanks,
you guys
Freako.
see McRae interviewed about it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, what did he say?
Well, so
Pendles
and
talked about it, did
Pendles
he?
talked about it as well. So they both did, and that was the plan. They actually wanted him coming in towards the end of quarters, especially early on, heat out of the game, and then the class of Pendles finishing it off. So he played 50% game time pretty much for that 100.
Wow.
So don't be surprised if his role like that continues because it started so well. But he obviously said he's happy to play whatever role the team needs. But, yeah, that was their tactical approach to it, and they probably won't change it now because it was good.
Now, we've spent a fair bit of time talking about opening round because a lot of those will dictate structure, and we'll talk structure now of what we've got. So bring up your teams, Roy.
Dust it off, Destroy.
Call mine a dog's breakfast. Let's see with this where things currently stand and what we actually think about. We'll talk through almost who are those must picks for each line, and the structure, which includes sort of where our rookies are and who they probably are. And don't forget, there is that great article at afl.com.au/fantasy, the ultimate rookie rankings from the Warn Dog.
Me time.
Yeah, well, I'll need to go and look at that.
Let's go and have a look. Backline. All right. Who is in your team that won't be leaving? Let's start with the Connor Rosie.
Yep.
All right. Colby Cow.
Colbs.
Have you found out any
He's going to be okay.
Right.
Look, because they're going to play him in the
play
VFL.
Sunday.
They were going to play him in the VFL.
Yeah.
But you don't drive Ferraris through the mud, do you, Doc, right?
You don't.
You don't do it.
No.
So, no, Colby shouldn't be playing
There's no
VFL.
point risking his finger in that.
But I think the fact that they were going to just shows that he's right to go.
Yeah. So he doesn't move for me because the value of him, I've got him in the mix for the role on 22.
Yeah, I agree.
So if he's named, he's 100% locked for me.
Caleb Windsor doesn't move for me. And you said, Roy, you don't have him.
Well, that was a half hour ago.
He's just a lock, I think.
Yeah.
I think
he's not a lockety lock.
Guess who
for
they
me.
play this week? St Kilda.
This is why he came back in. Because, he will get amongst those marks.
He will.
So, yeah, he's in for me, but I'm not as big on him as you are.
Blackiston. I think he needs to be there. There is a slight little flag.
Come on, you
Other
made me
high
get
vis.
this guy in.
No, he'll be right.
Right,
I think
okay.
you're still picking him anyway. So that's the thing. And then the rookie structure with what we've got. This is where a shuffle could happen for me because I've got Blackiston at D5 and then Lindsay at D6 with Sarong, Jacques, and then Grill as utility. So we've got these defenders. So I haven't even included Selwood, who's got a nice score there that'll help his price rise.
That's true.
Could we bump that up? Could that become that spot? And that Houston could turn into
So two
a
rookies
rookie.
and Blackiston.
Yeah.
No Houston. I tick that off in a flash.
Well,
believe how
Jacques
much I hate
Callis
Houston.
and Sarong, they're
hate him.
70s. They were 70s on the weekend. Like, they could be. Yeah, I like it.
If they're hitting 70s like that and looking that good doing it, surely they're a safe 50, 55.
Surely.
Midfield. All right. Our locks as such. I don't know how many locks there really are here because I think we can throw a blanket over a few. Errol could be an arguable lock because he's been in our pre-seasons, most of us, in our teams all pre-season. But we'll start with the lower end. Tanner Bruin has to be. Now, he's either M6 or M7.
Yeah, roll, score, tick, tick.
Cow didn't have him this time last week.
Warren, yes, but
That's what opening round's for. Cheat code.
I
for
wanted
a
a
reason.
200.
So you got him in now, but you took out Nasaya?
You are not one of these guys that are filthy about the
he's
same.
angry.
He's
angry about it.
Poking the cow bear.
Because some people are going, yeah, dog, you get in with it. Spot on.
I'm just poking the bear. Now, so Tanner Bruin there. So at the moment, we're probably feeling okay with just having the one rookie on, and that's Jagger. So he's the other lock that you need to have.
Yep.
He's in M8. Could you have a Carroll, for example, there at M7 and Bruin at M6?
I was correct what I said earlier.
You did do that.
I did do that.
That's what mine looks like.
So I've got Bruin, Carroll, Smith.
All right. Other rookies, which we're probably waiting on a bit. Like a safe play will be paying the $350K for Dersma.
Yes.
But is Tom Lemires an option if he gets selected for North Melbourne? I think we just have to do that. The $230K mid, mature age, great scoring. What he had his 90-odd, average 90-odd last year in the VFL.
He just added something to their team, like in the little look that we've had at him. So if he's in for that, like I think he's only got to play well and he'll be in there for the long haul, I think.
Has to be.
Players that have been our team. I don't think Butters leaves our teams.
No, he can stay.
Yep.
But there's a couple there that are
Jack
getting a little
Steele.
bit of a free ride.
Jack Steele, we walked in here and said he's had a free ride.
He has.
I was worried about how he plays based off what I saw on the weekend. He might be one of these, you saw a Dunkley have a 70-odd.
It's a valid concern.
It is. Free ride, Jack. I don't know.
Look,
Can he take marks against St Kilda?
Of course you can.
yeah, well, I know the Lions lost, but they have a lot of contributors. Like it's very easy for Dunkley to fall behind when
Okay.
so many others are racking up
Yep.
pill, when Zorko's hogging it.
You're right. Still will be the number one
Beautiful
banana for
pig.
them
But
in what should be a great matchup.
we need him for more than a week.
Right.
How comfortable are we with Steele?
Well, I think he averages a ton.
So do I.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
That's
But is
far
that
from a
enough?
disaster. Well, it's not a disaster.
All right.
And he's at a perfect price.
That's
upgrade-
part of the worry is the ceiling on him.
Well, he'll get you through the buys, and then you can send him to your favourite Uber Premium coming off him. Is that a play?
I'm looking at another bloke here.
I think he's okay. He's staying in my team.
He's another free rider. I can see him.
Oh,
Parrish.
You two have sooked about this one this morning.
Parrish
as
is
well,
a
since
free
you've been
rider,
in here.
dog.
Do you know what? I can't see him anymore.
Oh, he's gone.
So he's
What?
been there from...
So he's now your rookie that's come in.
Yeah.
That's what you've done.
Yeah, so he's been there for me from our first training session.
Yeah.
You've cut him.
Cut him.
Sorry,
He's
mate.
done nothing.
Don't come
Priced,
Monday.
priced at 72.
Yeah.
Dog, you'll be lucky to hit that at the Bombers.
I remembered that he was on my never again list for a reason.
Yep.
Just COVID year.
Yes.
He scored that 30.
Yeah.
And we had about 12 weeks before footy was
Now, I
back.
had a soft moment where I signed off on the paperwork to let him back amongst the boys.
Yep.
No longer. He's out.
Yeah.
So I've moved him.
I think
like
that's Roy Actionary.
Oh, big time.
It's off the back of nothing as well.
I know.
It's like he hasn't done anything to actually...
Oh, don't worry. He's not happy with the decision.
You know what I'm like with my random aggression.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's been noted.
He's copped it
Well, fair enough, too.
for nothing.
So he's got Hawks this week.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
What?
No Giant hit a ton against the Hawks last week.
He's cooked.
Here comes a 60.
All right, let's look in the rucks then. All right, let's just start with McAndrew. He's a must-have. Is he R2 or R3?
He's R2, dog. All day long.
It's more nerve-wracking now. It's coming down to the crunch.
Oh, yeah, I
seeing
know.
him there in R2.
Great article DJ did as well. Have a look at that one on afl.com.au/fantasy. But I think he just has to be.
Was Rob spotted on the weekend somewhere?
Is that right? Yeah. Had a bit of a goat tell us that he was at F1.
Well, that's
Quote.
not good preparation.
Checked out. No, I think that we do it. We go with that R2 option, mostly because who is your alternative?
Yeah. You could go set and forget
You
still, could you?
Yep.
And he covers one of them for one of the weeks?
Yep, you could.
So you'd only be going, 21 that week
Yeah.
at best.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who's the number
I
one
think he has to
ranked one at the moment?
Out of English
Out
and
of all the rucks.
Grundy,
Yeah.
if you were drafting right now,
Yeah.
I'd be comfortable taking English with my first ruck pick.
Just ahead of
Just ahead of Grundy.
Grundy.
Agree.
I think that's fair.
Maybe Darcy Cameron slides up a little
Oh,
bit.
he's
too.
definitely up there. He's knocking on the door.
So we haven't seen Max yet. We haven't,
No.
and is there a world that maybe your Luke Jackson is still an option here? That could even be your R1, or if you wanted him as your R2, going with one of those big dogs.
He's still an option. I think he's probably a 95.
Definitely
guy,
going to have
like
Cox
he's
there
priced at.
or Darcy.
Yeah. He's
They
done
won't play
nothing
three.
wrong. He's
No, he
done
hasn't.
nothing wrong.
No.
Oh, he
We
just
had
hasn't
him-
scored mega.
Wow.
Like he's priced at 95. Like he's
know,
actually
yeah.
significally priced.
And I think that's
And
probably
that might be
fair.
about what he does.
I think so. I'm starting to feel that way.
And then are you better off if you're just getting a guy who's priced at what he's at? Is that better to be English or
Probably.
Grundy?
Yeah.
And we mentioned Zach. Oh, let's go ZZ Top. Could be that bench guy.
I think so.
All right, forward line. Sheasel, well, still there. Is that one that you just don't want to overthink? Because I'm sure this week will be the time when people will start going, should I be paying up for
The Shees.
the shoes?
Yeah, you don't think about that.
Agree.
No.
Soldier on.
Petrarca, he's there. I've currently got him in my midfield, though, because I think the forward
You're
line
a
is so
psycho
stacked.
dog.
But
Leave
Petrarca,
him loose.
Petrarca has to be in your team,
Yes.
so that's there.
How have you found 7 forwards?
Flanders,
Right?
yep.
Yeah?
Butterick,
Okay.
Did enough, didn't he?
I think you
He
need
did.
one rookie on field. That could be
It is just one,
Robertson
though, isn't
/ Lombard. Like you might play Lombard this week because of the West Coast factor.
You can't have two. That has to be
And
one.
then you've got this bunch of guys. The poo cow you've written off.
The poo, yep.
So Filippo is out there. Rochelle.
Mm.
I'm well okay with Rochelle.
I'm okay with Rochelle.
I'm warming to Rochelle.
I don't love it.
No.
Not as much as you do.
He's going to be in the midfield. It's actually real. It's happening now.
You could put me in the midfield, dog. Doesn't mean I'm going to get a touch.
He's priced at 62.
Yeah, that's nice.
He's got 20 plus at a minimum.
20 plus at a minimum. You are a mad dog. Isn't he?
Where has this love come from?
Don't know.
What I've seen so far, what I hear them talking about,
Mm,
Rankin's the flag.
you don't have a good eye for this sort of stuff.
No, that's fair too.
How does he say that so not aggressively? Where if I
I
had
know,
said it, you
Roy,
would
you would have done
have
that.
punched me.
Rochelle is there. Who else is in those mixes? Murphy Reid,
Murphy Reid's in the mix.
Sam Lawler,
Yes.
Connor McDonald, if you
McDonald,
want.
we've crossed him. So there's a few here, and that's why I think you can probably try to fit
yeah,
a couple of them. Therefore, that's why Petrarca bounces to my midfield. And if you want to go even lower, like that Marshall,
Todd, my mate Todd.
Todd, in
So-
that role at under 400k.
So I have been in a position where I've gone, oh, that looks nice and safe with all those mid prices there. But they're mid prices.
They're mid prices.
We looked at them. Look at it. Pooh was safe with his high CBAs in the preseason and
Yep.
29 touches.
Yep.
But before the
Where
weekend,
was that? Where was that?
Butterick, he would have been down low on your midfield on your rankings, Roy. Let's
Yes.
go back to that article on the website. Where was
think
Butterick on that compared
in
to
the
some of
mix.
these guys?
In the mix.
But you would have had Rochelle in there.
I would have.
You would have had Murphy Reid in there.
Yes.
Whoa.
Roll.
Now, this is what
Roll,
annoys
Whoa.
dog, right?
It's the roll.
I sound like dog here. I had Butterick in my team before this game. Now everyone's got him. I'm not happy about it.
No, should
Cow,
be.
you couldn't spell his name to put it in there.
No, I always thought it was ER, not an A.
Buddha. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Buddha.
Yeah, and so the rookie structures we've mentioned there, it's one on Lombard, Robertson, and then I think it's Doveston.
Yes.
I think he's the one.
Well,
Yeah.
you'll play. Yep.
And that's probably why. Go and check out those rookie rankings to see my thoughts on those.
So, okay, because I've got all this indecision about the forward line, right, the structure of it, because
Yeah.
I just got reminded over the weekend that mid-prices rarely pay off. Because we can hide behind the buys for a few weeks there after round one, could we roll out Robertson, whose role looks good for the Eagles,
Mm-hmm.
and Lombard, just while we get a feel
Get
for
a feel for it.
the land?
Yeah.
On-
You could.
because it's a nice matchup for Lombard. Good
It
role
is.
for Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
It's just who would you put in that last bench spot? You probably it gets to areas where you got to pay up, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, we're not even happy with Doveston being there at 290.
No,
But there's no one else to have.
no, there's not. So probably are going to have just the one.
Yep. How reactionary have you been after opening round, Roy?
I just feel
Did you
like
behave yourself?
a little bit,
Okay.
a little bit. So you know the feeling traditionally of captain hindsight when you've seen footy, you've seen the first round, and you just think, why didn't I unlock the part of my brain that thought sensibly about a few things? Imagine having the benefit of captain hindsight, but you still actually have control. It's not reactionary. This is a blessing. Like, I am using my hindsight to fix what was a rabble and take people like Nick Dacos. It's a gift. It's a gift from the fantasy gods. It is.
I love it.
Right, structures, all of that.
This
We're
is
going
why
to
I
have
get angry.
plenty more content this week, including, I think, Roy, you're going to have a bit of a piece on players to build your team around.
Not just a piece, the piece.
The piece.
Yes.
It'll just be full of opening round guys by the sounds of it.
Well, I don't know. I thought that might actually be a good way to structure the article. Like, I know we want all of them, but these are the ones to put in and then play around them. What do you think?
I like it.
Could be interesting. And then we'll have a traders team coming out as well.
You guys need to fix that too.
Yeah, that's probably what we need to do after
That
this.
needs some reactionary moves.
Definitely
That
does.
needs a bit of Dan Houston in it, I reckon.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
Alrighty, so all of those social media places, they will be buzzing this week because we'll be making sure all the news is out there on everything, so make sure you're following along. Right, let's get just stuck into as many questions as we can before the tape runs out of recording time.
That hindsight stuff was pretty deep thinking.
Oh, very deep. On a different level.
Deep, man.
Very, very deep.
At least it's less aggressive when you speak like you're coming from like your little den.
Very confused.
Rightio. Jeremy has got this one. G'day, boys. Sinclair and Sam Walsh or Dawson and Roberts? That would be my man, Bomber Robert.
Yeah. Sinclair and Sam Walsh. I really like those two.
So do I.
So Sinclair and Sam Walsh both have buys.
Yeah.
Dawson and Roberts don't.
It's Dawson Robertson.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
You
These
just
buys.
haven't cared about any buys.
No,
really,
no, I
for the
haven't.
last hour.
No, you have to go the two without a buy in this scenario.
We used to say, right, you can't have buy players. And now, after we've seen them, we're like, oh, yeah, you got to have him, man. Got to have him.
Floodgates.
Now, these are a lot of questions or a lot of comments even. How many opening round players is too many? Josh, that's from Luke. Josh has got there. How many early buy players are you rolling with? And that goes on and on and on.
So we used to say, unless they present as awesome, ridiculous value, like a Flanders, you just don't do it. And now, here we are, grabbing all of them.
Okay, if you want to get off to a flying start, you still just don't pick any of the premiums with an early buy. That will get you off.
But does that necessarily get you off to a flying start?
I think it does. I think there's still enough
Okay.
that it does. I think.
And then we'll just jump over the top of people with our Nick Dacos's later.
I think. It's two different players. It's like, are you doing one or two pit stops? Which strategy?
That's another deep level there, Roy. So deep today.
That's up there with my
Almost as deep as some of these comments. This is a
grade
comment
5 Lance
from Rodney. Roy is the smartest.
Oh.
Warnie is smart. Cow is the dumbest. Is that fair?
Is that Rodney? Why would Rodney write that?
What a legend.
You just put that onto...
Rodney is going to love my comments a few minutes ago.
This supposed to be a Q&A, not just a
I
tell me
know.
I'm dumb.
Sorry, Cow.
Rodney might get a poster of my Captain Hindsight thing.
Got a question, Rodney?
You could make a nice little graphic of that. I can see it with like the cursive font and
can't
you
see
looking
it?
off into the distance at the
Oh,
beach or something like that.
stop
Which
it.
you've got those ones because you do take some photos of yourself at the beach with your shirt off.
Guilty.
So Rodney had an avenue there. Hang on, he had an avenue to ask a question and decided, no, I'm not going to ask a question.
And sorry, I had the choice of not reading it as well, Cow, but...
But you just
That's more on
encouraged
me.
everybody to do
Actually,
it.
that quote with that picture of me with the hazards behind me getting out of the water, you could sell that.
All right, let's go. Liam's got this one. We sort of have answered this one, but should I have Devon Robertson or Leo Lombard at F6? Simple answer for me is Dev, but I think I'll play Leo ahead of Dev this week.
Yeah, that's very bold.
Eagles matchup's going to be
Oh, he'll kick a few.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is where your scale of hardness is going to be off the
the
scale.
charts.
Yeah,
off the
he'll
charts.
be fine this week, won't he?
Liam, is Connor McDonald a lock?
Not a lot.
No.
No.
An option still.
Yeah,
Still an option?
Yes, he
Still
is.
an option.
If you were, let's call it, you had him in your team, you were 60% confident before the weekend, where do you have it now?
Still about the same.
About
Really?
the same.
Got to think, he played in it against a team that doesn't give up points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still their fourth highest scorer.
We all don't get to play St Kilda every week.
No, exactly. So we can't,
Yes.
like
you
we
can't.
can't get fooled by opening round. All right. Ones like Dacos, they're not fooling us. That's the thing. Being reactionary to Dacos and Goulden, that's not fooling because we talked all preseason about how scary it would be to not own them.
Yeah.
And then they come out with a reminder instantly. I don't think you get scared about McDonald, but
Like
I-
he was their fourth highest scorer.
yeah.
Like it's okay.
Do you know what I'd be scared about? The Hawks, full stop.
Yeah.
Tristo was asked a heap, so I'm going to throw a couple of names at you. LDU,
Option.
Yeah, it is.
priced at 88. No buy.
Option.
Big option.
What can he average?
He can get to 95.
Oh, is that all?
Yes.
That's maybe not enough. Can he do triple, Roy?
I was going to say 98.
He's never done triple.
No.
No, but could this be the year?
It will not be the year.
Well, it could, but so he's an option.
He's
yes.
an option. Underpriced,
Especially
no buy.
through the buys.
Yeah.
Jagger VC, Cow.
I'll be the judge of that. Look, you could. Against the Tigers, Roy. That's a 120, isn't it?
And you might as well because you're not going to have a loop
No.
0 anyway.
Hey, I'll tell you what. It's a scary week for captain picking from the
Yeah.
Pirate over here. Like, no.
Are you nervous
mega,
putting this
mega
out
nervous,
there?
Mega nervous.
I
Dom.
would be too. So we're thinking we're
We're
going
probably
in
not
without
VCing, yeah.
a loop, right?
Yeah. You're all in.
So,
Oh, exciting.
but then everyone's got their number.
They
so,
do, Roy, yes.
So what
Oh.
happens? Okay.
So if
say
you VC
someone
Jagger.
Jagger. Okay, we're saying Jagger, who's just going bananas. What would Jagger have to score for you to
Throw a spot.
invite Harry Barnett back to training?
Well, you're right.
Give me a number.
135.
135.
Yeah.
And even that's borderline for the money that
Well,
you'd
it is.
sacrifice generating.
Yeah.
Dog, what would Jagger have to score for you to take his VC?
120.
Oh,
You are not telling the
he's
truth.
such a straight batter.
You are shocking.
ZZ top
Yeah.
may not make a heap.
So you've gone cold on ZZ over
No.
120.
But I'll take that because he could be a red dot later anyway.
120.
Nah.
And Rodney's calling me dumb.
Back your premium
Let's get more
stock.
into some questions.
Who have you picked?
Hacky Harcourt wants to know Coleman or Windsor? That's Windsor every day of the week for me.
Not every day.
For
of the
mine.
Week. For mine?
For mine.
What day wouldn't you do it on, Cal?
Tuesday. Hate Tuesdays. You're right, it is. Kitty was good. He had a good score.
It's, Windsor.
Still Windsor.
All right, Sebastian on Twitter or X. G'day, gents. Need your thoughts on Whitfield and Sinclair as picks, regardless of the buy.
I'm big on Sinclair.
I think
Two
Whitfield
good-
after that start, you
Yep.
just wait.
2 good scores in a row for Sink now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Whitfield got his price going down.
Yep.
Sink got his going up.
Speaking of St Kilda, Fantasy Observer's got this one. When do we start taking Windhager seriously? Had a 140 in the preseason, 116 in opening round, halfback role, absolutely dominating, priced in the low 80s.
Now, he'll be...
So there's your
he will
LDU
be
comparison as well. Cheaper than LDU. Would you feel more comfortable with Windy?
every day of, including Tuesday.
Including Tuesdays.
Wow.
Yep.
That's important.
No, I think he's great. I'm not shopping in those areas, but if people do, I tick that off 100%.
John, thoughts on Will Powell? The role was there. It definitely was.
It was.
Extremely easy run as well. Possible downgrade from Colby. He didn't have enough points
No,
for me.
but the role was there.
Mm.
And Rao's going to still be a few weeks, isn't he?
He only scored 69.
Yeah.
Just wasn't enough.
Nah, it's not.
No.
But
So
what did he do? Let's have a look at. Yeah, so he had the most CBAs of the midfielders.
Yep.
He had 25 when Anderson had 24.
yeah, he looked all right too. A couple of easy games. He should get you off to a decent start.
Draft only.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't do it.
Right, so many Houston type question.
You're there,
Oliver,
your
dear
areas.
traders, is Houston a bona fide version of last year's Sam Taylor pick? Massive score built in and very likely underpriced. Do we take the cash and run?
Dog? Do you?
Oh, now this is Oliver. He goes, great to see Warn Dog at the tennis yesterday. Went to the
Oh.
tennis yesterday, right?
What
and
tennis?
just the Launceston International.
Launceston
Do we have one of
International.
them?
Yeah.
What?
And the old chair umpire from Perth, this is Oliver, said, g'day. Yeah, what should I do with my team? I said, don't listen to me. But, yeah.
Say eyes on the
interesting.
game, mate.
Anyway,
Hang on a second.
Hang on. Let's back this up a bit.
Was that down?
at our tennis
Near
courts
Liv.
here in Launceston, yeah.
Okay, I've got a serious question. So you
Right.
actually watched this?
Yes.
Was there an issue with how close the nets are to the side? Like, you watch the Australian Open, they run and slide. They'd be going face plant into the...
No, show court. That's decent size.
Is it?
Plenty of room.
So, but what
with a
about,
grandstand next to it.
right? So they play the preliminaries running into the side net.
Yeah, probably.
And then
so.
they get to slide a bit
of dodgeball.
and show court.
Yeah.
Were there many people there?
Oh, a couple.
So Dog had to go to the...
How much a ticket?
Yeah.
$10.
Bargain.
Cheap.
International.
They still sold beer there,
I'll
so
tell you
that
what.
was positive.
Was
Sounds-
Rafa there?
And you know who was there
No.
during the week? Pat Rafter.
What?
Yeah, he was
Pat was
coaching
here.
someone.
That's cool.
But anyway,
Oh, it was Dog's birthday too.
This sounds like a bit of a
What a
green
great
vest,
birthday present.
green vest punishment, Roy.
play on,
Just saying.
play on. Mark is asking, is Houston a must start now? Yes, the score was bigger because the Saints allowed it, but it's clear that they're wanting to use him at every chance to get it down there. Could be 20 to 25 points under price. Mark, yes.
This is all the truth.
It is.
Yeah.
Dog won't do it.
If Houston somehow came out and scored 100 in round 1, he would be in my team for round 3.
Ooh, okay.
I'll take the little bit of money I miss out.
A little bit.
I think it would be a little bit, wouldn't it?
It would go up so much.
What about that comment before? It made me think of you last year. Take the money and run was the quote.
Okay.
Dog got the
Yes.
money, stumbled, tripped, fell on his face,
Took the money.
tried to get up, but
that's the-
stumbled again.
Oh, you're so funny. Far out. This is going to be a long week, isn't it? Right. Couple of others here. Aaron. So, is Pooh out?
Hang on.
What?
Did he end up going down in price by the time you got rid of him?
No, I still made coin out of him. I think
I don't know if you did.
I was able to go
I think-
get a pie from the shop.
Okay. Sorry, next question.
I hope Rodney's listening.
Aaron. So, is Pooh out? Who replaces? Now, if you're choosing, and Jack's also got this question, are you picking Murphy, Reid, or Lawler?
Reid, I think.
Just in a better team.
Yeah.
Lawler's got the more locked role.
Yeah.
He does.
Off the back of that stuff too, like who they've got out, who they're missing.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I think his CBA
because
count
there's
will
no
be
coming for a month.
a lot better.
And then what else was there? Oh, Houghton, he's done for a while.
Yeah. So CBA count will be up for
It will.
Lawler. But I
Just
think
is,
when they're
is he too dusty and is he too
I don't know.
Richmond?
ironically when they're playing forward, I think Reid will push up the ground more than Lawler. I don't know. I think I'm Reid.
I'm Reid.
Mm-hmm.
Points will flow more.
All right, next one here. Nova Cascade can have two of Philippou, Lawler, Buderick, Murphy, Reid. Well, rank them. Buderick,
Yep.
number 1.
Yep.
Pooh, Lawler, Murphy, Reid. Do you just back in Pooh over Reid based
No.
on...
No, I don't.
No.
I don't think I do.
I didn't like what I saw.
No.
Stinky.
What didn't you like, though?
I didn't like
Just
the fact
that he didn't... He took
didn't-
one mark, didn't he?
he did one mark.
Do you know what I didn't like? The moment I committed to watching him closely and didn't see him for about half an hour.
Yep.
That was a concern. Couldn't find him.
Good question from Adam here. Colsey93. Is Lindsay a play over Ralston? So...
Probably. Lindsay's not going to play low time on ground.
and he's going to do his back line stuff,
Gets
which
kick-ins.
points should be there. You can get out of that with a bit of death status later on.
You could 550k.
I still think with people like Christmas Carol there, we can now just
We don't need him.
We can just bump that price.
Yep.
Stay away from that price.
All right. Rosa Caldwell is very low in ownership. Can I still start him?
I wish I knew
This is
more
the
about
island.
that guy.
This is the island thing.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be burned, but I don't think it's going to be a knockout pick. So therefore, are you?
I remember he was a real buzz name when the game opened up. Like,
Yeah, because Warnie
Underpriced.
created a stat about it.
is it him
No,
that did it?
it must have been other content creators that I copied.
No,
probably.
your
Because everyone was talking about him.
the CBA one.
Yeah, which I probably stole off someone else.
Yeah, you probably did.
Because that's the way it works in this community. We never get anything stolen.
Yeah, I'm saying no. 4%, too risky.
We sort of don't know what they're doing either.
Yep.
Like, is Merritt half forward, or was that just a thing in the preseason? He'll be back in bulk CBAs, and Caldwell takes a hit. Parrish, what's he doing? Too many question marks, probably. No from me, but wouldn't surprise me if he's good.
Quick fire here for Luke. Sinclair or Goulden? Goulden. quick fire. Come on.
Goulden.
Get your brains going.
Sorry.
Ralston or Bruin?
Braun.
Roberts or Josh Dacos?
That's a great question.
Dacos got a couple of dollars on him, I'd say.
Yeah,
a few actually.
Yeah, he does, but he's also got his cash generating at a rapid rate. I'll probably go Roberts because he doesn't have a bye, a bit cheaper, and he'll get a game versus the Saints at some stage too.
And his last one is Pooh Butterick, and it's Butterick every day of the week.
Every day
for that one.
Yep.
All right. Who else have we got here? Trap or treat gets thrown in here, Cal.
Hey!
The brand. Dan Houston.
Massive trap.
He's a trap.
The definition of a trap.
This is so much Dan Houston. The K-Man. Hatham. Is he a trap? Trap or treat? It's a brand there, Cal.
I know. It's taken off. It's taken off, all right. Look, I'm not doing it.
That guy, this is quite a line in the sand moment, considering the game hasn't even started.
It's an
Dan
outlier.
Houston.
Yeah.
You want to get this one right.
I feel like he hasn't even been invited to training. He hasn't turned up. He didn't even get an invite.
The fact he was moving well was a tick,
Yeah, I
let
know.
alone a 120.
Oh, I'm a no.
Right. I love your confidence with your no.
That's very... I only doing it because... Is it Rodney? He's really thrown me off.
That's rattled you.
It has.
Coolabah. Windhager versus Walsh.
Oh,
Windy's so much cheaper than Walsh.
Windy's not getting tagged. Walsh is. Can't believe I'm even thinking along these lines, but Windy's got access to more easy points than Walsh. Oh,
Wow.
I can't say it.
I'm going
Walsh is my boy.
Walsh there.
Walsh.
Yep.
Hamish, can we afford to go more guns and rookies this year with the amount of rookies we have?
At this stage, yes.
I'm trying to. Like, my team, just through the content that we do, is very mid-price, and I don't like it. So, over this week, I will be being a bit more ruthless.
Yes.
All right. Is that enough? I
That's
think
a
it
good-
is.
that's a
We
good
will
pod.
be back on Thursday when we go live, Cal.
Oh.
This will be 6:15 every Thursday night. You'll be able to tune in via afl.com.au or the AFL Live app, and we'll be bringing you the teams. And there are none more important than the round one teams because we want to know who's named. That's one part of it. But also, if someone's not there that you were sort of banking on and the rookie stuff. Now, we've probably across the rookies well enough now
I think so.
Yeah.
that we don't need to jump at someone that hasn't
Just.
put their hand up in the last
Agree.
few weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like we know our rookies better than we ever have.
Do you know how you can find out more about them?
I will be reading this one.
It's good. And it's a ranking. You see a list.
I love how
You don't
we've
have to
really
agree with it either.
up
Where-
the game
where-
to the ranking.
Where do you have Sharp, Dyson?
Yeah, he's low. He's not
Yeah.
in my side at the moment.
Okay.
Do you guys have him?
No.
No.
No. So he is ended up. I've gone. I think he'll play, but I've got Jagger, Carroll, Dersma, Blamires ahead. Now but this is where I'm unsure.
Of course.
Sharp and Watkins.
Oh, yes.
So the Port Adelaide mature age.
Okay.
Because if he's there,
He's another one.
that's very interesting,
Yep.
isn't it?
Mm.
Mature age.
There's a
Can't
couple of
turn your nose
230
up.
ones
Can't
there.
turn
and
your
that.
nose up at it. No.
Yep, so we'll be live then. Other stuff, just stay tuned to afl.com.au. DJ will be across everything. The Ultimate Fantasy Guide is there, which has links to basically everything that we've done. You go through it. It's pretty impressive to see all the work that we have done this year. Go back and listen to some of the podcasts if there's anything that that jump out at you want to hear a little bit about. But yeah, plenty of links to articles from that Ultimate Fantasy Guide that you should be jumping on board. And as we always say, stay tuned to the social media because we will be sharing stuff, especially debutantes when we get to see those little videos of who's been named up to play
Calling their mums.
and all of that. Anyway, boys, it has been one hell of a pre-season. It's
Hasn't it
not
ever?
totally over yet,
No.
but this is this is the last podcast
Oh,
before Thursday night.
it's getting me a little bit emotional. And very nervous too.
Nervous.
Destroy.
That's
very
where it
nervous.
should be at.
We'll be right. Thanks, Legions, for tuning in. Good luck this week. Make some good choices, including what you may or may not do with Dan Houston. See ya.